I'm David Heitler-Clevens.
And I'm Rodney Wittenberg. And this is Music for the New Revolution.
This land is your land. This land is my land. Living in America, living in America, living in America, living in America. Don't wanna be an American idiot. Outside the youth of America. It's the great American dream. It's the great American dream. It's the great American dream.
Part 2. We're back.
Here we are again to talk about America and patriotism and nationalism.
In alternative anthems. And I think we have some interesting pieces for all of you in this second part, just like we did in the first part.
Yes, with lots of varied genres represented. We've been talking about this idea that, there were these high ideals, there was all this promise, and then so often, as the very first song outlined, one after another in Alistair Mook's song, those promises are unfulfilled. That check remains, insufficient funds, as Dr. King said in his very famous speech, and that can lead to a lot of justified anger or rage even, and I think the next couple songs that we have are both in that kind of category. So Gary Clark Jr., who I think is just a really enormously talented relative newcomer, I just think he's channeling Hendrix sometimes, and sometimes he sounds more funk, and sometimes he sounds more blues, and he can rock, and he just does it all. And have you seen the video of this song that we're going to play, This Land? It's very powerful.
I heard he did it live on one of my favorite radio shows a little while ago, and it was just killing. It was absolutely amazing. But it's a very, very, very cool song.
Yeah, I mean, I think the visuals in the video really accentuate it, because there's these images of ropes, like for hanging, and crosses burning, and it really is very spooky and ominous visuals. And then after that, we're going to hear A Tribe Called Quest.
Yes, a very angry song about a look at how poor people of color, and are all lumped into that group of get out because you're not really American.
Right. I mean, the two songs really kind of fit together in that way, because they're both talking about that exclusion from the American community that happens, unfortunately, all too often in our history and currently.
Now that I got the money, 50 acres and a Model A, right in the middle of Trump country. I told you there goes a neighborhood. Now Mr. Williams ain't so funny. I see you looking out your window. Can't wait to call the police on me. When I know you think I'm up to something, I'm just eating, I was still hungry. And this is mine, not legit. I ain't leaving and you can't take it from me. I remember when you used to tell me, nigga run, go back where you come from. Nigga run, go back where you come from. We don't want your kind. We think you's a dumb bomb. You, I'm America's son. This is where I come from. This land is mine. This land is mine. No, I can't stop grinding, and I can't let them break me. No, I can't let them find me. You can meet my friend the governor, only if you wanna try me. You can meet my other friend the judge, just in case you think I'm lying. When I know you think I'm up to something, I'm just eating, I was still hungry. And this is mine, now legit, I ain't leaving and you can't take it from me. I remember when you used to tell me, nigga run, go back where you come from. Nigga run, go back where you come from. We don't want your kind, we think you's a dumb bomb. You are America's son, this is where I come from. This land is mine, yeah. This land is mine. This land is mine, yeah. This land is mine,
don't believe you, cause we the people are still here in the rear, yo, we don't need you. You ain't a killing off good young nigga move. When we get hungry, we eat the same food, the ramen noodle. This simple voodoo is so maniacal, reliable to pull a juju. The irony is that this bad bitch in my lap, she don't tell me she make money, she don't study that. She gon' give it to me, ain't gon' tell me nothing back. She gon' take the brain away the plane, she spit on that. The doors and signs with it, don't try to rhyme with it. VH1 has a show that you can waste your time with. Guilty pleasure take the edge off reality. And for a salary, I probably do that just sporadically. The OG Gucci boots are smitten with iguanas. The IRS piranha see a nigga getting common. Niggas in the hood living in a fishbowl. Gentrify here, now it's not a shithole. Trendsetter, I know, cold. Hand setter because I ain't so bold, but
of news media that logs false narratives of gods that came up against the odds. We not just nigga rappers with the bars. It's kismet that we conflict with the stars. You bastards overlooking street art, better yet street smart, but you keep us off the charts. Some of your numbers and your statisticians. Fuck you know about true competition. Just like the AO picture on there talking about he hitting. The only one who's hitting are the ones that's currently spitting. We got your Missy smitten, rubbing on a little kitten, dreaming of a world that's equal for women with no division. Boy, I tell you that's vision. Like Tony Romo when he hitting with the tribe be the best in 8th division. Shaheed Muhammad cut it with precision. Who can come back years later, still hit the shot? Still I'm trying movie off the fucking block. Babylon blood clot. Troop on your head top.
All of you black folks, you must go. All of you Mexicans, you must go. And all of you poor folks, you must go. Muslims and gays, boy, we hate your ways. So all of you bad folks, you must go.
That was Tribe Called Quest and We the People.
Yes, and before that, Gary Clark Jr. with This Land, title song of an album from 2019. We're doing some pretty recent things as well as going back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So up next we have a really powerful song called The Ballad for Americans, performed by Paul Robeson. And one of the things I love about this song is how the song really speaks to the ordinariness and how it was just a group of just regular people who decided they had had enough and they wanted freedom. They wanted to self-govern. I'm going to start saying that from now on too, because I think people say, well, they wanted freedom. Well, what they really wanted was to be self-governed.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted self-governance. I think that whole freedom and liberty thing has gotten confused recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a loaded. Freedom is a loaded word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a loaded word. It's like, we're free. No. You're not free. You're just self-governed.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want. You can't go 90 down a 15-mile-an-hour road. Yes.
Right.
But anyway.
Right. So Ballad for Americans comes from a while ago. So this is one of our throwback kind of features.
Yes. Yes, this is our throwback section without the special effects because we're on COVID.
I could try to put them
so.
on. Yeah. So it dates from 1939, and it's basically like a patriotic cantata with lyrics by John Latouche and music by Earl Robinson.
So it was written during 1939, and it was part of the Works program, it looks like, where they had theater productions on Broadway that were supported by the government, which always surprised me how left those productions were.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Things like The Cradle Will Rock and Mark Blitzstein. Yep. Yeah, it was a very cool time in a lot of ways because not only were those productions and that music left, they were also very avant-garde often because this is really kind of the time when the American left was more interested in avant-garde music than they were yet in folk music. And that it was a shift, that people like Charles Seeger, Pete Seeger's father, made that where they kind of realized, well, the miners and people working in mills and stuff, they're not really that into the avant-garde. They kind of prefer a little bit more, folky, country-ish, stuff. So.
But it was a very interesting and fertile time for where art and music were combined together to really speak to the plight of the people in a way that doesn't happen really again until maybe, with a few exceptions, but doesn't really happen as a movement again until the 60s, I would say. I mean, like there's obviously Strange Fruit and some other songs from Paul Robeson, and there's some songs here and there, but really as a movement, that New York sort of whole theater Works program was just full of some deep thinkers and some great art. Yeah. That was very political and very progressive.
Yeah, and Paul Robeson's such an interesting figure. You were talking the other day, or you were talking earlier about Renaissance people like Ben Franklin, and really Paul Robeson is another great example of somebody who, not only was a singer like we hear here and an activist, but also was famous in sports, famous on this, in movies and on the stage, and all and more than one sport. I mean, he really did an enormous amount.
So, and one of the things that's so fascinating about Paul Robeson was, as an African American man in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, he was so beloved by everybody. Like he was a national hero, obviously until he was blacklisted and moved to the Soviet Union for a while. And I always tell the story every time I mention him. I lived around the corner from him when I was a little kid and did not realize it, because in the mid 60s he moved back to America and he lived in Philadelphia on Walnut Street, which still mind-blowing to me, that this giant of American music and this Renaissance band lived out the end of his life at 50th and Walnut. It still boggles my mind.
Yeah.
But here is Ballad for Americans from Paul Robeson.
In 76 the sky was red, thunder rumbling overhead. Bad King George couldn't sleep in his bed, and on that stormy morn, old Uncle Sam was born. Old Sam put on a three-cornered hat, and in a Richmond church he sat, and Patrick Henry told him that while America drew breath, it was liberty or death. What kind of hat is a three-cornered hat?
Did they all believe in liberty in those days?
Nobody who was anybody believed it. Everybody who was anybody, they doubted it. Nobody had faith. Nobody but Washington, Tom Paine, Benjamin Franklin, Chaim Solomon, Crispus Attucks, Lafayette.
Nobody's ran a tea party at Boston.
Betsy Ross organized a sewing circle.
Yeah, Paul Revere had a horse race.
And a little ragged group believed it, and some gentlemen and ladies believed it, and some wise men and some fools, and I believed it too, and you know who I am.
Oh, who are you, mister?
Yeah, how come all this?
Well, I'll tell you. Now let me...
No, let us tell you.
Mr. Tom Jefferson, a mighty fine man. He wrote it down in a mighty fine plan. The rest all signed it with a mighty fine hand, as they crossed their T's and dotted their I's. Oh, grandest country day alive.
And a mighty fine idea.
Adopted unanimously in Congress, July 4th, 1776.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights.
That among these rights are life,
Yes, sir.
liberty,
That's right.
and the pursuit of happiness.
Is that what they say?
The very words.
That sure does sound mighty fine.
Building the nation is awful tough. The people found are going rough. The 13 states were large
home. But Lewis and Clark and the pioneers, driven by hunger, haunted by fears, the Klondike miners and the 49ers, some wanted freedom and some wanted riches, some liked to loaf while others dug ditches. And I believe it too, and you know who I am.
No. Who are you, mister, anyway?
Well, I started to tell you.
Yes, mister. Tell us who you are.
You see, I represent the whole of... That's it.
Let my people go.
That's the idea. Old Abe Lincoln was thin and long. His heart was high and his faith was strong. But he hated oppression, he hated wrong. And he went down to his grave to free the slave.
Man in white feet can never be free, while his black brother is in slavery. And we here hiding up and we let down on our time in vain. Government of the people, by the people and for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Abraham Lincoln said that November 19, 1863 at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
And he was right. I believe that too.
Gee, mister, we still don't know who you are.
Well, I've been trying to tell you. You see... There it is.
The teenage came with a great big roar, as America grew in peace and war. And a million wheels went round and round. The thinking reached into the sky and dug down deep into the ground. But the people carried through our country
Still nobody who's anybody believed it. Everybody who's anybody, they doubted it. And they are doubting still, and I guess they always will. But who cares what they say when I am on my way?
Say, will you please tell us who you are?
What's your name, buddy? Where you going? Who are you?
Well, I'm everybody who's nobody. I'm the nobody who's everybody.
What's your racket? What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm an engineer, musician, street cleaner, carpenter, teacher.
How about a farmer?
Also,
Office clerk?
yes, ma'am.
Mechanic?
That's right.
Housewife?
Certainly.
Factory worker?
You said it.
Stenographer?
Uh-huh.
Beauty specialist?
Absolutely.
Bartender?
Absolutely.
Truck driver?
Definitely.
I have seen this.
All of them I am the et cetera and the and so forths that do the work.
Now hold on here. What are you trying to give us?
Are you an American?
Am I an American? I'm just an Irish, Negro, Jewish, Italian, French and English, Spanish, Russian, Chinese, Polish, Scotch, Hungarian, Litvak, Swedish, Finnish, Canadian, Greek and Turk and Czech and double Czech American. And that ain't all. I was baptized, Baptist, Methodist, Congregationist, Lutheran, Atheist, Roman Catholic, Orthodox, Jewish, Presbyterian, Seventh-day Adventist, Mormon, Quaker, Christian, Scientist, and lots more. Our country's strong, our country's young, and her greatest songs are still unsung. From the plains and mountains we have sprung to keep the faith with those who went before.
We nobody or anybody believe it. We anybody or everybody have no doubt.
of the cheating, out of the shouting, out of the murders and lynching, out of the windbags, the patriotic spouting, out of uncertainty and doubting, out of the carpetbag and the brass spittoon, it will come again. Our marching song will come again. Deep as our valleys, high as our mountains, strong as the people who made it. For I have always believed it, and I believe it now. And you know who I am. Who are you?
So, one thing that we don't tend to do a lot on this show, we did at the very beginning, and then we've sort of not done it that often. I'm not that surprised by that, but we don't too often do things from sort of the opposing political side of stuff. And of course, there is a whole body of, more jingoistic, nationalistic, flag-waving kinds of songs in our country. And a lot of times, people think of them, especially coming from the country side of things, and there are certainly a lot of those. There's an interesting book I read called Rednecks and Bluenecks, The Politics of Country, and it particularly focuses on after 9/11 and includes a lot about the whole thing with the Dixie Chicks, now named just the Chicks, and it's very interesting because people in the country world, I think, at least this book claims, for a long time really tried to steer clear of being partisan political in their overtly, even not just in their songs, but also even in just kind of life. With some exceptions like Merle Haggard with, Fight Inside of Me and Okie from Muskogee and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But even those are not, political in the same way as things in folk music or rock, tended to be. And, but after 9/11, the battle lines kind of got drawn according to, that book. And it's very interesting to look at how that all played out,
Yes. And also, there was that underground, Johnny Rebel stuff. I don't know. I think we talked about that before.
Oh,
but,
right.
Johnny Rebel is a group that does very, very, very racist, country music, and it's been around since the 50s, 40s, 50s into the 60s, and it just gets new people to be part of the group, and the songs are pretty blatant and obvious, but there are the people who are doing it are their identity is hidden. From my understanding, it's actually some famous country stars, but they didn't want anyone to know, and so they do it under this name, but
under a white hood.
Yeah, exactly. And again, when we talk about this, I keep thinking of the documentary on country music, where we really do get to see what you're talking about, that split, the new country doc that came out last
Ken
year.
Burns one.
Ken Burns one.
Yeah. I haven't watched all of that yet, but I watched part of it, but I'd like to watch more of it. Yeah, it is interesting. Well, when there's really obvious stuff like you were just pointing out, or like the thing that always comes to mind is the Toby Keith, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, which is really nasty and offensive and stuff like that. I think one of the more sensitive songs that is along those lines is this one from, I think it's pronounced Shelley Wright, Bumper of My SUV. It's a really interesting song because it kind of, I'm assuming it is based on a real experience where, because this woman had a thing about the Marines on her bumper sticker, she gets flipped off by somebody, and so her song is a response to that. And even though I don't agree with everything in this song, it's an interesting perspective, definitely a different perspective from most of the things that we tend to play. So I thought it'd be worth, especially since this one's, a little bit different from, Toby Keith or, whatever. That would be kind of interesting to hear that. And then another song that we'll hear after that is from Dan Bern that also from this. These are both from kind of the W era, post 9/11 time. And Dan Bern's song is My Country 2, as in Roman numeral 2.
I've got a bright red sticker on the back of my car, says United States Marines. And yesterday a lady in a minivan held up her middle finger at me. Does she think she knows what I stand for, or the things that I believe? Just by looking at a sticker for the U.S. Marines on the bumper of my SUV. See my brother Chris, he's been in for more than 14 years now. Our dad was in the Navy during Vietnam, did his duty, then he got out. And my grandpa earned his Purple Heart on the beach of Normandy. That's why I've got a sticker for the U.S. Marines on the bumper of my SUV. But that doesn't mean that I want war. I'm not Republican or Democrat, but I've gone all around this crazy world just to try to better understand. Yes, I do have questions. I get to ask them because I'm free. That's why I've got a sticker for the U.S. Marines on the bumper of my SUV. 'Cause I've been to Hiroshima, and I've been to the DMZ. I've walked on the sand in Baghdad, still don't have all of the answers I need. But I guess I wanna know where she's been before she judges and gestures to me. 'Cause she don't like my sticker for the U.S. Marines on the bumper of my SUV. So I hope that lady in her minivan turns on her radio and hears this from me as she picks up her kids from their private school and drives home safely on our city streets, or to the building where her church group meets. Yeah, that's why I've got a sticker for the U.S. Marines on the bumper of my SUV.
Mercedes-Benz, and I don't desire to own one. I'd sooner watch a flower grow than the latest from Sylvester Stallone. I don't have me a country club membership, I'd rather Greyhound bus. I don't have a cabin 2 hours north of here. I don't celebrate Christmas, but it's my country too. Sometimes I gotta remind myself it's my country too. I pay my taxes, but on election day I stop at stop signs just like you. I've never burned an American flag. If I did, it was an accident. I've never dropped a bomb or defaced a Washington monument. But you won't find a flag on my doorstep on the 4th of July. Too many criminals try to wrap themselves inside of it. Stands for too many lies. But it's my country too. Sometimes I gotta remind myself it's my country too. I pay my taxes, but on election day I stop at stop signs just like you. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. If I say it enough times, maybe I remember what it means. If I say it enough times, maybe I remember what it means. Don't try to tell me, I want to listen to me. Don't try to tell me, I want to listen to me. 'Cause it's my country too. Sometimes I gotta remind myself it's my country too. I pay my taxes, but on election day I stop at stop signs just like you. It's my country too. Sometimes I gotta remind myself it's my country too. I pay my taxes, but on election day I stop at stop signs just like you.
Yeah. Dan Bern, My Country Too.
Yeah.
Definitely had an early Elvis Costello feel to that to me.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you had any responses to that first song, the bumper of my SUV, Rodney, because I think it's an interesting song, you know, and like I said, it's a different perspective than we often do. Yeah.
The first thing I thought, though, this is really bad, is that what if she gave her the finger because she's just a bad driver?
And she made an assumption that it was because of the bumper sticker.
Yeah, she made an assumption that it was about the bumper sticker. I mean, how does she know?
Yeah, well, that's true. And I think there is that, you know, it's in a way she's being angry because she thinks this other woman has made assumptions about her, but she does do the same thing about the other person, not only about that, but also all kinds of other stuff. She imagines all kinds of things about what kind of person this is. And so that part's kind of interesting, yeah.
Well, that was what I was thinking, like, maybe she just gave you the finger because you cut her off. You don't want to wear her. Like, I don't know.
But if we do give her the benefit of the doubt and imagine that it really was, you know.
I mean, you know, I think one of the frustrating things about where we are today, of many frustrating things, is how again, not only has the right taken over religion, but it's also taken over patriotism. And there are plenty of people who are on the left who serve. I have many people in my family. I have my grandfather's flag upstairs. He served in World War II, and two of my uncles died in Korea, or came back from Korea and died actually from the effects of PTSD and other stuff from being in the war. And my sister serves, and I have a great deal of respect for people who are willing to make that sacrifice. And I've had many conversations with people who have, you know, decided that's what they wanted to do with their lives. And I honor and respect them, and
Mhm.
it's, I mean, we, unfortunately, in the world we live in, we need them, and so but that, I don't know how that always get like, so how criticizing the leaders of them, the politicians that make the decisions as to how they are used, ends up being a bad thing. I
Right.
never understand that.
Right.
Like, how, if I, the person who's making the decision of how the military is to be used is a civilian, and in many cases never served or has no interest in served, and
Right.
I would say in the current situation is one of those armchair tough guys or telephone tough guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All never served, but all full of bluster about, like, us, we must go. And it seems like the generals who really know what war is like, the older, who've actually served, will do anything not to go to war. They
Right.
will try, like, oh no, we have to fight. Let's see if there's a diplomatic solution. Let's see if there's another way around this. You don't want to do the thing you're suggesting.
Right.
Like,
Well, and
it
it
should be
does seem
the
like
absolute last resort.
right. And it does seem like the writer of this song is kind of trying to claim that because her family members have, made the sacrifice, and that because she has isn't unquestioning about things, that somehow that means that she can, silence people who are critical of the way that those forces are used or the way those decisions are made. It's in it. I mean, she doesn't come out and say that, and I think that may be unfair of me. But on the other hand, there is a sense that, like, one of the lines that kind of gets me in that song is that, I have questions, I get to ask them because I'm free. And that sort of is like another way of saying this freedom isn't free kind of thing. Like, it's because of those people who fought for us that we have these freedoms. So shut up and don't criticize anything. Don't use those freedoms because because people died for your freedoms that you shouldn't now use. Is sort of what they end up saying sometimes. So it's I find that frustrating, but it's still, I think, an interesting song.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a good song, and I think it's I'm all about getting different points of view across. But I think one of the things I wanted to just focus on, the thing you just said, that another one of those little pet peeves of mine is that we're free. At this point in time in the world, there are many other places that have freedom.
Absolutely.
I mean,
more freedom sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are many of democracies around the world, and this idea that we're the only place that has freedom is just kind of crazy. And freedom is not free. We're not talking. I don't know why people confuse anarchy with freedom. In other words, freedom has more responsibility, not less.
Right.
Freedom carries with it a level of responsibility for yourself and the other. It is not, I'm free so I can do what I want. No.
Right.
That is not freedom. That is anarchy. I actually wrote the other day in a post, entropy laughs at that idea. At least entropy gets organized every once in a while from the chaos. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Well, and this weaponizing of freedom that's going on now, of saying, I should be free to do anything I want, including, point a gun at you, including not wear a mask and endanger your health, including, it's not including not being vaccinated, all these kinds of things that people are pretending that they, just have the right to, their freedom trumps everybody else's and everybody else's lives and safety. And, it's a really bizarre
it's
thing.
almost like we created a government. I mean, part of this experiment of America was we created a government that was self-representative or so we could self-govern. In other words, we get an idea. The majority of people get an idea and say something like, I'd like to put a speed bump there. Now, obviously, there are going to be people who don't want a speed bump there. There just are people who are like, no, I'd like to speed down this small suburban road because I'm entitled to be free and go 75 miles in a 30-mile zone, even if the speed limit says 30 miles an hour. And so a group of people said, no, we have kids here, so if you're not going to slow down, we're going to force you to. We're going to put a bunch of speed bumps. So they get a law passed that says they can put speed bumps there. That's what it means to be free. Yes, the person who wants to go 75 miles an hour down that road cannot do that anymore, because the majority of people have decided that they want to be safe from that idiot who's driving that fast. That's the freedom we have. We have the freedom to self-govern, not the freedom to do whatever we want.
Right.
That is anarchy.
Right. And we do have some protection against that being used as a mob rule kind of thing, because obviously, even if the majority of people agree on something, if what they agree on is to take the rights away from the minority, then that shouldn't be okay. And we do have things in place that are supposed to protect against that. I say supposed to because that doesn't always work, but it's supposed to. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I think the ruling from a couple of weeks ago that upheld, at least for now, that upheld the rights of transgender and gay and lesbian people. That, yes, they are a small minority, but to and who knows? I don't know where the numbers are as the people. Where I think there is more support now for gay and lesbian rights than there are for transgender rights, but
we're moving in that direction.
But we're moving in that direction. But it doesn't matter how many people there are. Our laws say that you are not allowed to hurt someone.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how small a percentage of that of the population they are. We're not allowed to intentionally go out and hurt them. And again, you can't regulate what someone thinks, but you can penalize them or control their actions. That's what it means to be in a free society, that we get to make those decisions. But I think people think that it's everybody gets to do whatever they want.
Well, you know, when you brought up the Supreme Court, that actually makes me think of a perfect way for us to transition to our next couple songs, because another good, surprisingly good Supreme Court decision just recently was the one that reversed Trump's attempt to destroy DACA, and basically said that, at least for now, that people who were, brought here as children or born here, whose parents were not legal immigrants, can stay under DACA. And Rodney and I got to go to New York, I guess it was a couple years ago now, to hear a few artists talk about their work. And one of them that was really fascinating was John Daversa, who has a big band jazz program, I think in Florida. And he did this really cool project called American Dreamers, Voices of Hope, where he got all these young people who were musicians and who were also DACA recipients to be part of this project. And they did some just really cool stuff. And a lot of them are familiar songs. Some of them are kind of typical patriotic songs. One of my favorites is the Led Zeppelin Immigrant Song. That's just a very cool big band version of that.
So if you have the chance, go out and look for it. It is in one of our other episodes. I think the one on immigrants that we did or something. But go check out that song. Go check out that whole album. It's great.
Yeah, so we're going to play the one that's from James Browne, Living in America, their version of that. This is a little immigration set. So even though we did an episode on immigration already, of course, you can't really talk about this country, as we have already mentioned, without pointing out that we are a land of immigrants. And so it is part of the whole idea of our national identity as well. So let's listen to Living in America from John Daversa's big band, and then a relatively recent and really beautiful, poignant song from Keb Mo's most recent album called This Is My Home.
got a job at a local factory. Sent money back home to her family. She said, this is where I belong. This is my home. This is where I belong. A man arrived from Pakistan, a stranger in the promised land. Mohammed is finally free. He drove day and night in a taxi cab. When people got mean, he didn't get mad. He knew this is where I belong. This is my home. This is where I belong. La 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 la. Loopy had school on Monday night when a man walked in who looked just right. Mohammed and Loopy were falling in love. Well, they raised a beautiful family, taught them all their history. They know this is where they belong. This is their home. This is where they belong. My people came over from Africa to North and South America, and the journey was long. They sacrificed and they paid the price so I could live this wonderful life. And I know this is where I belong. This is my home. This is where I belong. La 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 la. This is where I belong. This is my home. This is where I belong. This is my home. This is where I belong. Oh yeah. Where I belong.
Isn't that a sweet song from Keb Mo? This is my home.
Very sweet song. Yes, very nice.
Yeah. So we're not always angry.
Yeah. No, we are not. I love that Living in America. It's pretty intense. That was actually one of the songs I really wanted to put into the show, and I kept challenging myself, going, well, everybody knows this song, though. And
But not that way, right?
Not
everybody
that
knows
way,
it that
no,
way.
yeah. So that was a good choice, David.
Yeah, it's really tight, isn't it? I mean, and then he does all this when I first heard it, I was a little put off by all the complexity of the mixed meters and stuff like that. I was like, how are people going to be able to dance to this, funky song if it's like keeps tripping them up? But it's so cool to just listen to, and there's so many like nice little touches in there, and different elements and stuff that he brings in that are different.
Yeah, I was interested. The little nod to Prokofiev in there. I was like, what is that? The little quote from Peter and the Wolf, I think, is what I heard in there.
Or at least reminiscent of it in the clarinet. Yeah. And I think it's possible that clarinetist is from like Ukraine or someplace like that. I think we met him at that thing. And I mean, there were really people from all over the world in that project. It was super cool. And they had at least 3 of the young people there when we saw them. So
and young people, the playing on that is just insane.
I know.
Like every time I hear it, I'm like going, oh, how old are they again? Oh my god, that's like so awesome. The level of musicianship on that.
I know.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the ensemble playing. I mean, it's the individual musicianship, but it's also, I'm sure this must be partly John Daversa's, contribution of bringing them together in this way where they play like one, like they're breathing together,
Yeah, I do hear a lot of big band, contemporary big band arrangements and performances, and that is one of the tightest big band arrangement and performance I've heard in a long, long time.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah. Well, I think we have a couple more songs that we want to try to get to. And, of course, we'll have lots more songs in a Spotify playlist that connect with this theme. So if you want to put that on, while you're barbecuing over July 4th weekend, if you do that, you'll have lots of alternative and progressive politics that you can, have as your soundtrack.
Yes, if you do choose to social distance gathering over the 4th of July weekend, you'll have plenty of music to listen to, or also to inspire conversations with your relatives who think differently than you do.
Yeah, or it may create more social distance between you and them if you play our music during it. Yeah.
And speaking
Chase
of our
them
speaking of our Spotify playlists, if you are hearing this on one of the many different platforms where podcasts are available and love what we're doing, please go to our Patreon page and sign up to become a member and support Music for the New Revolution.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to do a couple more songs, and one of them is by a friend of mine, Dave Kinnoin, who writes a lot of music for children, and this was something that was on one of his children's albums, and he co-wrote it with Jimmy Hammer. They do a lot of co-writing together. And I heard this on their album. They have a group called Grin Brigade, I believe, and it's called Wake Up in America. But then I heard this woman, Lea Morris, in the D.C. area sing this song, and I just loved the way that she did it, in addition to the original version. And so I actually just wrote to her today and said, hey, do you have a recording of that you could send me? And she got right back to me. So we are in luck, and we get to hear this relatively new recording from Lea Morris of a song which I think is just gorgeous, called Wake Up in America. And then we'll go on to Jackson Browne's anthem from the late 80s, I Am a Patriot, which is a nice way to kind of wrap up, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
So happy 4th of July to everybody, and God bless America, and we'll enjoy these next couple of songs.
When I wake up in America, I see my neighbors there with every type of clothes and shoes, hats and skin and hair, every fine belief and custom. Scores of songs from who knows where. When I wake up in America, our stories fill the air. Wake up, despierta. Wake up, despierta. Wake up in America. a song when I wake up. I see the kids playing happily swaying. It's good to be staying in a place like this, with a face like this. When I wake up in America, I put away my fear, and I love my neighbor as myself, and I say I'm glad that you're here. We have found ourselves together in a land we dream could be. When we wake up in America, everybody will be free. Wake up, despierta. Wake up, despierta. Wake up, please, America. The light in the harbor shines for us all. When I wake up, when you wake up, when we wake up in America.
And the river opens for the righteous, 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 and the river opens for the righteous someday. Brother, and he wondered what's on my mind. I said what I believe in my soul ain't what I see with my eyes, and we can't turn our back this time. I am a patriot, and I love my country, because my country is all I know. I wanna be with my family, people who understand me. I've got nowhere else to go. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous someday. And I was talking with my sister, she looked so fine. I said, baby, what's on your mind? She said, I want to run like the lion, released from the cages, released from the rages, burning in my heart tonight. Yeah. And I ain't no communist, and I ain't no capitalist, and I ain't no socialist, and I ain't no imperialist, and I ain't no Democrat, sure ain't no Republican. I only know one party, and it is freedom. I am a patriot, and I love my country, because my country is all I know. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river open for the righteous someday. And the river open for the righteous, and the river open for the righteous, and the river open for the righteous, and the river open. I wanna run like the lion open for the righteous, and the river open. Release from the cage open for the righteous, and the river open. Release from the red open for the righteous, and the river open. I said when I believe in my soul for the righteous, and the river open. It ain't what I see with my eyes for the righteous, and the river open for the righteous. Someday, open for the righteous.
You've been listening to Music for the New Revolution. I'm Rodney Wittenberg.
I'm David Heitler-Clevens.
Music for the New Revolution is produced at Melody Vision Recording Studios in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. Music for the New Revolution is written and produced by David Heitler-Clevens and Rodney Wittenberg.
And edited and co-produced by Ben Flax.
You can find us at musicforthenewrevolution.com or MFTNR. Like us on Facebook and follow our Spotify playlist.
And our podcasts can be found on SoundCloud and iTunes, and you can also be a patron, a supporter of our podcast on Patreon.
This is Music for the New Revolution.
Spend it all today and we will bill you tomorrow. 3-piece suits and bank accounts in Bahamas. Wall Street crime will never send you to the slammer. Tell all the children in the arms of the mamas. The F-15 is a homicide bomber. TV commercial for a pop-up pill culture. Drug companies circling like a vulture. Amaraki babies with the G.I. Joe father. 10 years from now, is anybody gonna buy?